And Dr. Newman, you're also an epidemiologist. I presume the prospect of a viral pandemic keeps you up at night as well?
No.
No?
No.
Just to be clear, you do think microorganisms pose a threat?
Oh, in the most dire terms.
Bacteria?
No.
Not bacteria, not viruses, so...
Fungus. Because there are some fungi who seek not to kill, but to control. Viruses can make us ill, but fungi can alter our very minds.
Every week, millions of viewers are on the edge of their seats watching Joel and Ellie navigate through an apocalyptic world overrun by humans infected with the zombie fungus in HBO's new hit, The Last of Us. Cities have fallen, lives are destroyed, and humans are transformed into fungal-infected hosts. The fungus is called cordyceps, which in the show evolves from turning ants into zombies to being able to turn humans into zombies. While the show is science fiction, there is some fact behind the story. Cordyceps really do exist, and it really does take over ants, turning them into self-sacrificing zombies. Two fungi specialists told DailyMail.com that this terrifying zombie fungus is only 3 steps away from being able to actually spread to humans. Cordyceps is a fungus that latches onto a host and invades the body and the brain, taking it over completely and turning it into a zombie. The fungus does so by taking over the insect's mind, directing it to move out of the nest and spread infected fungal spores. In The Last of Us, cordyceps take over ants the same way it does in real life, but the fungus has evolved and takes over humans as well.
And our hypothesis is that the ancestral that was infecting the first ant back then, around 45 million years ago, the common ancestral of cordyceps was infecting beetles. And then these common ancestral, they jumped from beetles to ants because both the ants are there and the beetle grubs are also in this trunk. There's no aggression, will not attack other insects or anything like that. They act like a drunk ant, so they're really strange. They shake for a couple hours and then they die.
The human body's natural temperature is 98.6 degrees, while the ant's temperature is 38 degrees, making them vulnerable to cordyceps. In The Last of Us, they claim the Earth needed to reach extreme temperatures in order for these kinds of fungus to grow, but they did not specify what temperature exactly. Human beings are not susceptible to cordyceps because of 3 key differences between ants and humans. The human body's temperature doesn't allow fungus to grow, but if fungus adapted to handle the higher temperatures, we would be 1 step closer to fungi taking over the human body.
I'm not going to say, never say never, especially in this field when we've seen crazy things happen, especially how I think it's portrayed in the series. I would say that it needs to overcome a lot of hurdles for a fungus like that to affect humans and become sort of a wide pandemic. Obviously, we are very different from an insect. We've got a completely different physiology in terms of temperature, structure of our body, immune system. All of that it needs to overcome.
Humans' elevated temperature is a thermal barrier for organisms that can't grow at high temperatures. One of the reasons humans get fevers is to raise our temperature to fend off infections. So, in order for a fungus to infect us, it would need to learn how to cope with a nearly 20-degree difference. As the Earth gets warmer from climate change, fungus adapts to the warmer temperatures globally, which then helps fungus be able to withstand human body temperatures. And a fever wouldn't be able to save you from this. The structure of the human body also deters fungi from being able to take over. If the structure were to be altered, this is the next step that would lead to fungus being able to control us. We all watched in horror as an infected human had a stomach-churning kiss with a woman named Tess.
I believe they've taken inspiration from a David Attenborough series where you can see the fungus in the ant take over and then eventually the ant climbs up and it grows. I think it's out of his head actually. Realistically, it could come out of anywhere, so I don't think that's too far-fetched to be fair.
Lastly, humans' immune systems are the final deterrent from fungi's ability to put us into a zombie-like state.
Either it needs to be a complete breakdown or our immunity as a whole to that fungus. It would need to be something completely radical.
While The Last of Us is just a television show, the World Health Organization is sounding the alarm on health-threatening fungi, WHO recently shared the first ever list of fungal priority pathogens, which includes 19 fungi found to be threats to public health.
Remember the sort of the first scene where in the history where the scientists talking about this range of fungi and that it's all going to change. I would say that's almost 100% right.
Both experts believe this zombie fungus won't infect humans anytime soon. Still, there are other fungi currently in the world that pose a dangerous threat. So, is The Last of Us a look at the future of humankind? Let's hope not.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.